Hello guys, and welcome back to Reading Club. So today, I'm going to read you Daisy and the Trouble with Zoos, Chapter 17 and Chapter 18. Chapter 17. The trouble with making your way back to a car is you can never remember where you parked it. Mom said she was sure our car was somewhere over somewhere, but when we got somewhere over somewhere, it wasn't there at all. There were so many lines of cars everywhere, we couldn't see our car anywhere. First, we walked down one row. Then we walked down another row. Then we thought we'd found our car, but it was someone else's. Then we walked down about 100 more rows. Then we ended up back where we started. Then we didn't know where we were. In the end, we did find our car, but it wasn't somewhere over somewhere. It was somewhere over somewhere totally else. Mom said that next time she parked her car at the zoo, she was going to ask a giraffe to stand beside it. And just to make extra sure, she was going to ask the giraffe to wave a big flag. On the way home, Dylan and Gabby wanted to do animal noises again. Gabby said she'd found out what sound a sea lion made, and Dylan said he'd learned how to do a macaw. But I said I didn't want to play. I said I just wanted to go home. Gabby said, "Let's sing Nellie the Elephant again," but I said I didn't want to do that either. Mom said I must be coming down with something, and she'd dose me up when we got home. I said I didn't want any medicine, and I just really needed to get home. We were nearly almost totally home too when it happened. Chapter 18. Mom, I said, just as we turned off the roundabout near our house. Do you think we could stop off at the shops? What for, Daisy? Said Mom. You've already had lemonade and sweets today. So I said, I need to buy a bag of frozen peas. Now, the trouble with saying I need to buy a bag of frozen peas when your mom knows you really don't like peas is that your mom will get very suspicious. What on earth do you want with a bag of frozen peas? Asked Mom. I need it to keep my baby penguin cold, said me. The trouble with moms putting their foot down on a car brake really hard is it makes everyone shoot forward really fast and it makes you think you're going to crash. Luckily, we all had our seatbelts on, but it was still really scary and our tires did the realest, loudest screech ever. What baby penguin? Said Mom. That's when I opened my duffel coat. I've called him Findus, I said. The trouble with having a baby penguin under your duffel coat is, well, lots of things, really. What are you doing with the penguin under your duffel coat? Screamed Mom, staring down at my lap with her mouth really wide open. I've adopted him, I said. Adopted him? Squeals Mom. You can't adopt an animal from the zoo. Everyone else has, I said. Then Gabby and Dylan undid their seatbelts really quickly and dived over my shoulders to have a look. Wow, said Gabby. Cool, said Dylan. Oh my God, we're going to prison, said my mom. We've kidnapped a penguin and we're going to prison. Can I stroke him? Said Gabby. Can I stroke him next? Asked Dylan. When did you kidnap a penguin? Said Mom. How did you kidnap a penguin? When Tiffany was getting the bucket out with the net, I said. All the mommy and daddy penguins were zooming after the net and they left the baby one all alone. Tiffany wasn't looking after him, and the mommy and daddy penguins weren't looking after him, so I decided I would. And anyway, I haven't kidnapped him, I've adopted him. Daisy, said Mom. When people adopt animals at the zoo, they don't take them home with them. They just give the zoo some money to help look after them. Looking after animals is a very expensive business, and adopting an animal is just a kind and helpful way of making sure all the zoo animals are well cared for. No one takes adopted animals home. Christopher Dowsett is adopted, I said, and he lives at home. Christopher Dowsett isn't a zoo animal, Daisy, said Mom. He's one of your friends at school. He's still adopted, I said. Yes, Daisy, said Mom. Christopher is still adopted, but when zoos say adopt an animal, they don't mean adopt an animal like they mean adopt a Christopher Dowsett. They mean a different kind of adopted. Then they shouldn't say adopt an animal, I said. They should say pay for an animal instead. Or buy food for an animal. And straw, said Gabby. And tea pads, said Dylan. Well, whatever they should say, we're taking him straight back, said Mom. The trouble with penguin beaks is they can't speak. If Findus could have talked, he would definitely have told Mom that he really didn't want to go back to the zoo, and he much preferred being with me. But he's all fluffy, and he's all snuggled up, and his wings are all flat and nice to stroke, which means he really likes me, I said. Can I have a feel? Said Gabby. Can I have a stroke? Said Dylan. I don't care how fluffy and nice he is, growled Mom. He's going back to the zoo. I tried everything to stop her. I promised I'd look after him. I promised I'd put him in my front basket and take him for rides on my new bike. I promised I'd get a job to pay for his fish. I promised I'd let him sleep with me and have baths with me in water that wasn't too hot. I even promised I'd take him to school with me so that he could learn how to read and write and skip and everything. I bet none of the penguins at the zoo know how to read and write or skip, but Mom still made me take Findus back. That's the trouble with moms whose children have adopted a baby penguin. They're just not fair. Well, that's the end of this channel. I hope you enjoyed my readings of it, and I'll come back later with a new and improved channel. Bye, guys!